Welcome everybody to the first episode of the third season of Wine, Hops, and Road Stops, shot here on location at the beer stop at West Hazleton. I am with my friend Alan. Alan, how's it going today?
Going fantastic. Spring is close.
Spring is close. You know what that means? That means it's almost time for St. Patrick's Day. That's why I'm wearing this silly hat. I got my Pints Templar shirt on. A little shout out to the Pints Templar group on Facebook. So this episode is going to be all about St. Patrick's Day and Irish-style beers, correct?
Yes. Yep, not just Guinness. There's a whole bunch of different styles out there, and there's always one for your flavor.
If you like what you see here, contact us on Facebook, like many have done. Facebook.com/Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. Send us some questions through there. We'll answer you on the show. One of the questions that came in recently has been a viewer question: why do we drink Guinness on St. Patrick's Day? We don't necessarily have to drink Guinness, but the St. Patrick's Day tradition began as a feast day held in honor of St. Patrick on the anniversary of the day he died. Christians are allowed to put aside their Lenten restrictions on food and alcohol consumption on this day. This is why excessive drinking has become so permanently linked to the celebration.
That's also kind of strange too, because St. Patrick was actually born in England. Then he was captured by Irish pirates and kept captive there for 8 to 10 years, and then left, escaped, started the church, and then he started 20 monasteries back in England again, or back in Ireland. So he's not even Irish.
It's still an excuse to party and wear green and have a good time, right?
Absolutely.
Going back to another show we did last season, you were talking about when you go to Ireland and get a Guinness, you know, they could actually put candles in it and stuff?
Yeah, it's a much different beer. As a matter of fact, the Guinness Extra Stout, which we'll be drinking a little later, is the only Guinness that is actually still brewed in Ireland. All the other ones are brewed in Canada, so that way they don't have to ship it overseas, and it's a little bit cheaper for them to do so.
And they still call it an import.
They still call it an import, absolutely, yes. So, but yeah, the Guinness over there out of the kegs, it's not an air system, it's a draw system. So it's literally drawing it right out, and when it comes out, the head is so thick you can actually put birthday candles in them, and it's a spectacular beer.
Now, if you're going out to drink Guinness on St. Patrick's Day, you could also try a blend. You know, the most famous blend, of course, is the Black and Tan.
Yep.
Which is Bass and Guinness?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Okay. Well, here's some other blends that we came up with that we found that you may want to try. A Guinness and Blue Moon. It's called a Black and Blue. A Guinness and Newcastle Brown Ale. Now, I'd like to try this one. This sounds interesting. That's called a Black Castle. Guinness Strongbow Cider is a Black Velvet. And a Guinness and Rogue's Dead Guy Ale is the Black Death. That sounds good because, you know, Rogue's Dead Guy Ale is it's a pretty strong beer.
It is.
Now, I have to admit, it's not my favorite thing to drink as far as like the run-of-the-mill stouts. I like Murphy's better, actually.
Murphy's Stout is a little bit more creamy.
That's
no doubt
why.
about that, yes.
Not that I don't like it, it's just I prefer Murphy's, and I know my Irish friends yell at me about it, but whatever, you know. I'm not going to Ireland anytime soon.
Well, you'll be fine then.
Now, let's talk about St. Patrick's Day parades. There's parades going on all over the country, especially here in northeastern Pennsylvania. You got the Scranton one, you got the Wilkes-Barre one, you got Pittston, you got a whole bunch of St. Patrick's Day parades. So when you go out, here's some tips to survive St. Patrick's Day parade. Number one, evaluate your drinking ability. Be honest with yourself. Please don't go overboard. If you are a lightweight, don't drink like you're the gold medal winner in the Ironman Boozathon. Know your limits, and please stick with them. Number two, eat. Do not begin your day on an empty stomach. This isn't a day for watching your weight. Start the day with fatty foods, dense carbs. Eat a good breakfast, nice, greasy breakfast, filled with all kind of good stuff, bacon, ham. Fill your stomach up because you're going to be putting booze on top of that later. Number three, of course, is stay hydrated. Drink a lot of water. Make sure you swap out your green beer for some water every couple hours. This is something I have to add. Don't be that guy. That's all I got to say about that. Don't do stupid things to get yourself arrested. Don't be that guy, please. You'll embarrass us.
I always like how we talk about St. Patty's Day as surviving it. Not go out, have fun. It's more or less, you know, make sure you're alive the next day.
Please, please. Enjoy, drink responsibly. So when we come back, we're going to dive right into these Irish styles that you can enjoy on St. Patrick's Day or any day of the year, really. But we're going to get really down and dirty with the Irish style, so don't go away. There's more Wine, Hops, and Road Stops coming up right after these messages. Don't go away. Welcome back to Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. This is the first episode of the third season. We're on our third season, and I'd like to just thank everybody, first of all, before we go any further. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the businesses like Alan's and the other ones that come on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. Thank you very much, everyone, and keep watching, and we'll keep sampling beer.
Thanks for drinking with us.
Absolutely. So let's get into drinking. What do we got here? What's going on here?
First one we'll start with is the Flying Fish Parade Lager.
Okay.
So it is a lager, so it should be a little bit lighter, a nice, easy drinking, all-day kind of beer.
Yeah, actually, yeah, there's a lot more.
Yeah,
there's
it's
more
nice.
taste to it actually than I thought.
Yeah, I might prefer it. Yeah.
Well, Flying Fish is another brewing company. I like to say that they're pretty good at pretty consistent, pretty good at making some decent beers no matter what they're putting out.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yep. Next one has always been traditionally my favorite for the season. It is the Hooker Red.
Hooker Red.
Basically, yep. As opposed to their Hooker Blonde.
Ah.
His name's Thomas Hooker.
Oh, okay.
So.
I get it now. Okay, now it makes more sense. Okay, so this is a red ale? Mm-hmm. Okay, Irish red ale.
Yep.
So what are the hallmarks of that style?
A red ale is just going to be an ale almost with a little bit of coloring in it. So you're getting into the English style ales. A little bit more to it, but not heaviness though. It's very light on the palate, but you get a little bit of bite at the end, but not quite a hoppy bite. But yet you still know you're drinking an actual ale as opposed to drinking, like a white or something else. Next one is the Red-Headed Stepchild by Tall Tales, another Irish red ale.
I like the label on it. It's cute. I've had this one before, actually. Yeah.
And if you're going to do an Irish ale, might as well call it a Red-Headed Stepchild. Again, it's a little bit more. You're jumping up into a little bit.
And it's darker than the last
Darker. I almost get a little coffee in it as well.
Yeah. Roasty overtones, subtle apple fruity finish.
Well, I guess the roast is kind of being you end up getting the coffee.
Yeah,
flavor.
that's what I'm thinking. The roast,
Yeah.
the roasty overtones, and a 6.2 alcohol by volume.
Okay. Yep. It's a little heavier of a beer, so it's a little able to handle the extra alcohol.
Okay, what we got here?
Then next we have the Harpoon Craig.
Close enough.
All right, we're going to go with that.
Yeah, because it's written in like Gaelic lettering and stuff. So
this is a
who
red,
knows how to pronounce it?
This is a red IPA, so this should be up your alley. Has a nice hoppy nose to it.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of nose to this one.
If you like IPAs and you want to drink an Irish IPA, this is the one for you.
Ooh, that has a nice hop character to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Yeah.
I'm liking this one a lot.
Yep.
This is hitting the IPA buttons on me.
All right, then we'll go with Moylan's Kilt Lifter. It's a Scottish ale.
I should have worn my kilt today. I have one. I should have wore it. But I figured it'd be a little too cold in here.
Yeah, that's a little scary. Although luckily, we're mostly covered, so you'd be okay
so
with
it'd
it.
be a waste.
This is a Scotch ale. And again, it's actually trying to get the flavors of Scotch into a beer.
And there it is.
And you can definitely taste it. It hits you on the back end.
Yep. There's a lot of Scotch flavor in the finish here.
Yep. 8%. That's where it is.
I was going to say it has to be above 6 or 7.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. This is definitely not a parade day beer.
No, unless you want to be done with your parade in like a half hour. Yeah, this is good though. This is
That's nice.
very nice beer.
Little something different.
Yeah.
And then the Wexford Irish Cream Ale. This is very light on the scale.
Oh yeah, this is compared to the last couple beers we had.
Yep.
This one's like going backwards. This is very light. I can barely taste it because of the other beers I had.
Yeah.
This is exactly what a cream ale should be. That's how I'm going to say. That's how I'll label this. Exactly like a cream ale should be.
And by your 4th or 5th sip, you kind of get the IPA out of your mouth, and then you can really taste this one.
Nice light taste to it, and again, that's what a cream ale is supposed to be. So.
And it's also one of those draft in a cans. So when you open it up, there's a little nitrogen tablet inside of it that will open up, and the gases will be mixed into your beer.
So you get a nice foamy head on it.
Yes, but if you're drinking it and you're not sure what it is, there's nothing wrong with your beer.
And last but not least, of course,
the Guinness Extra Stout.
Now, there's a difference between extra stout and
the draft. Yes, their draft is another. Most of the time, it does come with a nitrogen tablet as well. It's a little bit lighter than their extra stout.
Now, this one is made in Ireland.
Correct. This is their only Guinness product from America that is made in Ireland. and it drinks like a true stout,
Yes.
but not so heavy like a lot of like our Russian Imperial stouts and things of that nature. It's probably not even above 5.6% alcohol only.
Right.
So
Stout, just because it's a stout, it's a thicker beer, doesn't really mean it has to be high in alcohol.
no, and again, this beer you could definitely even drink on an all-day basis if it's a little chilly on the day. And I'm a stout guy. That's what I'll be drinking on St. Paddy's Day, I'm sure.
Yeah, have yourself a Guinness.
Yeah.
There you go. There's our beers for this week. When we come back, our road stop is up north to Wilkes-Barre Township to go see our friends at Krugel's Georgetown Deli and Beer. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more wine, hops, and road stops. Right now, I'm at Krugel's Georgetown Deli and Beer. I'm with Kevin. Kevin, first of all, I want to welcome Krugel's Georgetown Deli and Beer to being one of our major sponsors here on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. Thanks for coming back on, and thanks
Thank
for
you very much.
supporting the show.
We're so happy to be on today. Thank you. I want to say again, welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah, you got a lot of new stuff here.
So much
Yeah,
new.
We're sitting at the new bar.
Right? Brand new bar. Just a couple of weeks ago, we put the bar in. We made some room. We're going to add some new taps. We got about 3, 4, 5 new taps that we're going to be adding to our system. The bar's taken off. Everything is just going so well for us right here.
There's always something new going on at Krugel's Georgetown Deli. And right now we're talking about St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day parades are going on all around the area.
Well, St. Patrick's Day is my favorite time of year.
I understand
and
why.
what says St. Patrick's Day more than a nitrogen beer? And of course, the first thing that everybody thinks about is Guinness.
True.
Right? Guinness is the classic nitro beer, the classic Irish stout. But let's look at some Guinness alternatives.
There's more in the world than just Guinness. Now, Guinness is a good beer,
Guinness is fantastic, my first love.
but I have to say, and like I said it earlier in the show, this second beer here, Murphy's, I like this better than Guinness. I'm sorry. I don't punch me. That's my thing.
I agree with you 100% too. I think Murphy's has got everything Guinness has and more.
Well, let's start first with this one. This is another old favorite of mine. What do we have here?
We got Boddington's Pub Ale. Now, this is a pub ale that comes in a nitro can. Nitro is really interesting, because what the nitrogen does is it gives you smaller bubbles. So first of all, you're going to get a different kind of looking head than you're going to get on any other kind of a beer. But there's some other cool stuff that happens with nitrogen. Nitrogen actually changes the chemical structure of the beer itself. And so you've got a pH change, and so the proteins denature, and what you're looking at is a creamier mouthfeel in the end. It's a bunch of complex chemistry that just works out to a better beer, and I love nitro.
Wow, that's like very scientific of you, very doctorish of you to really describe what happens with the nitrogen, because it's not just more of just like a creamier head. It's
Yep.
the actual.
It actually
things
changes,
happen.
and when you see when you see a proper pour of a Guinness, they pour half the Guinness, then they let it sit.
Mm-hmm. And when you were pouring these beers, we were checking it out. You could actually see it working as you pour the glass.
Yep.
So, what do we got here?
So this is Boddington's Pub Ale. It's a classic British pub ale. This is a Guinness alternative because it's a nitro. It's nice and creamy and smooth.
Yeah, it's nice. It's light.
It's light and roasty, malty.
That means you could drink this all parade day.
Very little hops, very low bitterness on it. Sometimes I see pub ales referred to as a golden stout.
Okay, moving on, we have Murphy's Stout. This is my favorite.
Murphy's
out of
Stout?
these, yeah.
Murphy Stout is brewed out of Cork, Ireland. And if you happen to be in Cork, Ireland, you simply do not order a Guinness. You
Okay.
order a Murphy's.
Well, if I go to Ireland, which is on my bucket list, I'll
Mine
make
too.
sure of that.
It's only a 4% beer, so there's really actually not that much alcohol in it. And when people think about these black beers, they think that they're heavy.
Right.
But actually, that's really not the case at
Right.
all. It's a very light beer. It's got the roasty, it's got some malty, it's got some mild coffee flavor, some mild chocolate, and then there's a bit of a caramel that kind of comes through to sweeten the whole package.
Now, they may be thicker, but they're not heavy as far as the ABV's not higher.
So now
Next up-
Young's Double Chocolate Stout. We're going to put this one a little higher on the sweeter scale, but not much. Not much. It says double chocolate, but it's not a super sweet beer. This is, to me, it tastes exactly like Guinness.
You get that chocolate note to it, the little chocolate tones, but not overbearing, despite the name.
Despite the name, right. This isn't one of those beers that's had cocoa nibs added to it. So the chocolate presence really just comes from the chocolate malt. So this next one is from Flying Fish Brewing Company. It's called IPC Stout. IPC stands for Irish potato candy. Now, Irish potato candy has, long been a staple in my family. I had Irish potato candy when I was a kid. But I think that maybe some people haven't had Irish potato candy, as strange as that sounds.
I've never had Irish potato candy, but then again, I grew up in an Italian household, so I can understand why we wouldn't have that. I'll ask my wife about it tonight, though.
So what I did was we made up some Irish potato candy.
All right, you made that for us, huh?
We made this just for you.
But who made that, though?
So this was made by the owner's son, Cameron. He is absolutely a fanatic with cooking. He loves to cook. Good job, Cam. So these are Irish potato candies. Now, this candy itself is mostly sugar. In addition to the sugar, you've got some coconut and some cinnamon to it.
Okay.
So these are very sweet.
I'll try one.
They're very sweet. They're a little they're a little brittle.
Whole thing. Pretty sweet. Whoa. You can eat one.
Yeah, one is about right.
Let's wash it down with some beer. That has a good taste to it.
Right in the nose, you get the cinnamon. You get the cinnamon and the roast right up front. Notes of chocolate a little bit, but the cinnamon and the coconut definitely come through in this.
I really like this. This has a really nice nose on it. Really nice flavor, too.
It reminds me of being a kid.
Well, you're not drinking beer when you're a kid.
No, not drinking beer when I was a kid.
It's the candy that's doing it. But yeah, this tastes like that. They really, they got it. They got it. This is Irish potato candy beer, absolutely.
A little bit sweeter, definitely more ingredients, definitely more sugar. Plus, let's not forget, we're looking at an imperial stout right here.
Yeah, it's 10.3. So again, if you want your parade day to go from like 9 in the morning to 9:15, there's your beer.
Finally, we're looking at Innocent Gun Barrel Aged Irish Stout. This is a whiskey barrel Irish Stout. I've personally never had this one, but Innocent Gun is a classic Irish brewery and a classic Irish Stout. Let's give this one a try. The barrel age is going to add something to it every time you throw it in a barrel. You got the tannic acids, the tannins. You're going to give you a little bit of that dry feeling in your mouth. It makes you want to take another drink.
Now this guy's not that big though. It's 6.1.
Only 6.1.
It's because usually with these barrel aged beers, they tend to be a lot
Right.
higher.
Usually they leave a little whiskey in that barrel before they put the beer in it.
Next up, what's next up to talk about?
Well, next to talk about, let's eat some food.
I like that idea. And now we have something brand new here at Krugel's Georgetown Deli and Beer. We have the Flights and Bites. What is this in front of us?
We're very proud of this one. Now what you do is you order a flight of beer and you get a flight of chicken bites. We've got about 25 different sauces, some of them house-made, all of them amazing. And you're gonna pair your beers with it. On our menu for it, we got some pairing suggestions. And today let's see what we've got.
I like this part of the show.
So the first one we got right now, we've got our mango habanero sauce.
Okay.
A little bit spicy, and we're gonna pair that with a single IPA. So let's try this with a New England style. This is Susquehanna Brewing. It's their New England style IPA. This is the Series 2.
Well, first off, the sauce is fantastic. A little bit of heat, but not too much. It's good,
A little bit of heat, just right. Just enough to wash a beer down with. So the New England style, we got the hazy, we got a little bit of the juicy. They got a bit of some tropical hops going on with it.
Well, that fits perfectly. Absolutely. Perfect with that. Accents the heat. There's not a lot of heat there. Just enough, though, to you can feel it. A little bite in the back of the throat. It's good. It's not going to kill you.
So next, we're looking at our Kickin' Bourbon. So this is a standard barbecue sauce, like a spicy barbecue sauce with a bourbon kick.
Okay.
And on that one, we're going to try the Revelation Pale Ale from Turkey Hill Brewing out of Bloomsburg. So Revelation Pale Ale, it's a little bit of a malty kind of a pale ale. You got a little bit of a sweetness to it, and then with the Kickin' Bourbon sauce, it's going to pair very well. A little bit tiny more malty than a standard pale ale. Beautiful. Next, we've got our house-made spicy Thai peanut. This is another Cameron special. So with your spicy Thai peanut, we're going to go with Tears of Green by Captain Lawrence. Tears of Green is a very full-flavored IPA. One of the best IPAs I've ever had. One of the best IPAs we've ever had. It scores a 4.14 out of 5 on Beer Advocate. It is truly an exceptional beer. You get the hops in the nose right away. It's unfiltered. The alcohol's not too high, though. It's only 7.5% beer. I love unfiltered.
Yeah.
It's just, why would you take out some of the best parts of the beer? So next we've got, and we're proud of this one, just for the Irish season, we've got our Guinness Barbecue.
And bacon.
And bacon. Guinness Barbecue with crushed bacon.
Oh, you can't go wrong with bacon right now. I mean, come on. And we're going to pair this with...
We're going to pair this with one of the best coffee stouts that you can possibly get. Weyerbacher Sunday Morning Stout, local Pennsylvania beer, one of the most highly rated coffee stouts you can have.
Smell it.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Weyerbacher, they can do no wrong with me. Everything I've had from them has been always top notch.
Yeah, they have one policy: go big or go home. Definitely thicker on the mouth feel.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Very good. And this whole thing would run you how much? About
$15.
$15?
$15. 4 beers.
Can't go
About
wrong.
a half pound of chicken.
Oh, very good. All the sauces were excellent.
Big meaty.
You have to say that. I saw in the notes you have to say big and meaty. Big and meaty chicken. That's it from Kugel's Georgetown Deli and Beer. Kevin, thank you for hanging out with me, trying all these beers on St. Patrick's Day. And of course, thank you. Thank you again for being a major sponsor of Wine Hops and Road Stops. That's all the time we have on Wine Hops and Road Stops for this episode. If you like what you see, come to the Beer Stop. The Beer Stop has a ton of great beers. And of course, you always have new beers. So what is new this week?
A lot of stuff coming in. And granted, we haven't been here in a while, but there's D9 Brewing, first time in the area. And we have about 8 beers from them. One I'm really dying to try is the German Chocolate Cake Stout. That just sounds right up my alley. Then we also have Stoneyard Brewing, Epic Brewing, the last of the 2018 Bourbon County Stout. We just got another delivery of that in. And then along with that also, I brought in some of my personal aged Old Rasputin. It's 2 to 3 years old now. And so that'll be up for sale, which is just a great whiskey barrel beer, aged perfect timing.
Remember, life is too short to have bad beer. So drink good beer, get it from the Beer Stop. We'll see you next time on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops.